All right, we're taking you to the Sweet 16. We've still got some Big 12 teams that are floating around in here. UConn and Auburn. Our first one seed to go down, UConn, falls to the Auburn Tigers. BYU and Iowa State. Seen this song and dance? BYU probably could have won that game, should have won that game. Some Hilton magic for Iowa State the last time these two teams met. But Iowa State is unbelievably good at the sport of basketball. The analytics love them. Everybody loves them. It is shocking and awesome and crazy and good that BYU gets to the Sweet 16 this year, but that is where the run ends. Taman Lipsey, Iowa State, they get the win over BYU. Iowa State is able to control the pace. They were able to keep BYU on a neutral court. BYU's ability to shoot the three will be hampered. On a neutral court, will be hampered. And they're a team that did not go on the road and beat Iowa State because at the very end, the gumption, the Hilton magic, you could argue the officials favored Iowa State. And I think it's going to favor them on a neutral site too because they are the better team. Who's the better team between BYU and Iowa State? It is Iowa State. BYU should have been a 4 seed. This matchup should not have happened. I've got Iowa State beating BYU. North Carolina, Alabama. I love North Carolina to go deep this year. New Mexico and Dayton. I like New Mexico to go to the Elite 8. Houston, James Madison. Houston is not going to trip. I think they win every game to this point by double digits. They beat James Madison by 12 to 15 points. If you want a perfect bracket, take Houston to your Elite 8. Texas Tech and Marquette. I think Grant McCasland does what Jerome Tang did in year 1 at Kansas State. I think McCasland does that in year 1 at Texas Tech. Jervis Campbell is his favorite musical artist. Texas Tech over Marquette. Shaka Smart and beating Big 12 teams is something he's allergic to. Tech to the Elite 8. Purdue and Gonzaga, this is the Purdue redemption year. Every time a team loses in the first round to a 16 seed, the next year they win a national championship. Then Creighton is finally the team to topple Colorado State. Our Elite 8, Auburn, Iowa State, North Carolina, New Mexico, Houston, Texas Tech, Purdue, and Creighton. If you're keeping score at home, that is 3 Big 12 teams. And the run ends here for Auburn. Iowa State to the Final Four in my bracket. I feel very confident in that pick. The defense is so good. They can't win a national championship because we know that they're outside of that when it comes to the analytic statistic things that says like, oh, the team can't win its conference tournament and still win a national championship. But I can take you to the Final Four. North Carolina, New Mexico. We gassed this matchup up. It's like one of those Sunday games, afternoon, and North Carolina falls. In the last 10 years, 9 tournaments have seen a team seeded 9 or lower in the Final Four. We got a double-digit seed there. New Mexico to the Final Four. Wild. Houston, Texas Tech. Houston wins another game by double digits. This feels like one of that, like the Baylor year or that Villanova year where the team was just mowing through everybody. Houston does it to Texas Tech. But what a year for Grant McCasland and company, falling short of the Final Four just like Jerome Tang did, but at least making it close on the cusp. Then Purdue and Creighton. I told you, when you see a story arc in college basketball in March, you should probably pay very close attention to it. That story arc is Purdue. It is Purdue coming back from losing as a 1 seed and having a hell of a run. Purdue to the Final Four over Creighton. Our Final Four, Iowa State and New Mexico, Houston and Purdue. And you might think I'm a sicko for doing it, but here it is. I have an all Big 12 national championship game. You can say that I'm a homer. You can. That's fine. You can say that I'm a homer here. I do think Auburn's got a good shot. They're my kind of a backup pick here if they beat Iowa State. But this is a 1 and a 2 seed. 2 of the best teams in the country. Analytically, 2 of the best teams in the country. The 2 best defenses in the country. And I value defense in March. 2 of the best starting 5s. I need you. If your starting 5 plays 38 minutes apiece, that's it. That's fine. I just need you to win a couple games in a weekend. And I think these are the 2 teams that can do it. Iowa State and Houston meet in the national championship in a rematch of the Big 12 championship. That's your storyline. And Houston Cougars, Kelvin Sampson. Analytics point to me, 4 teams that have a real shot. Auburn, UNC, Purdue, and Houston. Those are the 4 teams that, based on historical analytics, have the best chance to win a national championship based on KenPom and scheduling and where you ranked here during this week. And do you have, like, you know, on a Sunday, if you have a big man who's 7'4" who has 7 rebounds at any point in this season, you'll win a national championship. All those things point to those 4 schools. Houston is your national champion. If you want money, if you like money, bet on Houston now to win the national championship, to go to the Final Four and win March Madness. I think this is finally it. LJ Cryer gets his second, and the Houston Cougars win it all. How many total points? 127. A low-scoring, gross, awful game. That's it. That is my bracket. How fun is that, guys? Did you have a lot of fun? That's the perfect bracket right there. Yay! Houston, national championship, Big 12. Beaut. This has been, it always will be. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. It's going to be a wild day today. Let's watch some hoops. I'm on a cruise right now, by the way. That's how this was recorded with like Colorado State and Virginia not being played yet. But Colorado State, they won that game, right? They had to have. Locked on. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. No se grande.